walk as the board gets owned. Welcome to Dad's Drafts, your new homegrown.
Hello, and after that great intro, welcome to Dad's Drafts. Now, as you can see, we're going to do another premier draft of Aetherdrift, and we're currently down to silver. That has two reasons. First of all, the main reason is because there was a reset, and the second reason is I'm actually playing on a different account now. I'm playing on an account called Dad's Drafts, which makes sense because that's what I'm playing as on YouTube and Twitch as well. So there will be a few things different, but thank you and welcome, especially to my one new subscriber. Now let's see what we can get in these packs. And I did notice that they changed the layout of the card with making the borders like torn or worn down. I'm not very enthusiastic about it. I hope they will change it somehow, because I mean, even if you play in real life, I don't think your cards will look like this, and it looks very cheap. And I guess that's the idea. Anyway, we're already in the draft. I'm going to pick this Bastronaut Berry because I think it's an amazing card. It starts the engines on turn 1, and once you get the engines going, this can get really aggressive. So I'm just going to pick it. Other interesting cards will be the Sideswipe, for instance. Gunner is also pretty good, and of course the Rambler. Like the Volter as well, but I think the Bastronaut is just amazing. Spike Spitter is also pretty good. So let's continue and see where we end up. Okay, so some other cards here. I like the Lagorin, but we're not in those colors. Catalyzer and Crash and Burn, all these three cards are fine, but there's a Road Rage. Even if we don't have many mounts and vehicles, it's still 1 mana to a creature, for 2 damage to a creature at instant speed, which I think is pretty good. So let's just keep going. If you have any feedback for me during the drafting or the playing or whatever, feel free to let me know, because it's actually what I'm looking for. Okay, so there's a Sarcophagus, there's a Spin Out, which I really like, but there's also this Coordinator. Now I know red-white is not the best archetype, but since we have the Road Rage, we could try red-white, something with, what is it, mounts and vehicles. But I could also take the Spin Out, because it should be a clear sign that black is also open. It's a difficult pick for me. I guess I'll cut red-white here and see if we can end up with a red-white deck. Don't really care about this card. It might come around and then I might play it, but it's not really a card meant for limited. So there's a Tune-Up, which is pretty good. Boosted Sloop is also a clear sign. Now Tune-Up is only good if you have some very big artifact vehicle stuff to cycle. And I believe in red-white there's the mythic rare one, which these chances are slim that we will get it. And this is not really worth using on the 4/3 Menace artifact thing. So I guess I'll take the Boosted Sloop. I mean, so far everything is still open. I'm just going to change the layout here for a bit. Back on Track. It's a good card for the whole cycle theme, of course. But I'm going to take the Skycycle. It goes well into what we're going to try to do. And we could always splash for the Boosted Sloop. But let's just do this first and see where we end up. Gunner is nice. There's also a Rambler and a Gallant Strike. And I guess the Rambler is what we need. It gives both a body and an artifact vehicle. So I'm just going to take that. Don't mind either of the Gunner or the Catalyzer, but I think the Rambler, nor the Gallant Strike, by the way. But I'm just going to pick creatures and vehicles highly. Castle Thrill Seeker very late. So that means that indeed black-red is also open. The question, however, is it worth going into? I don't think it is. So I'm just going to take the Surveyor. If there was not another card here, I would probably take the Thrill Seeker. Wow. Why is... Okay. Well, it's clear that no one's in red-white, it seems. I'm going to take the Sloth, but I would like all three of these, actually. And that is a clear sign that no one's in these colors. Okay, so we got this back. Rambler is probably the best pick. Mechanic will do some work in our deck. Also don't mind the Surveyor, but I think I'll just take the Rambler here. Catalyzer or Disciple. I think Disciple is better. If we can get the Rambler or Sloth to swing for free and gain some life, I think that's very good. But red-white clearly being open, which makes sense because it's, well, it's a pretty terrible archetype. But we're going to try to make the best of it. Glider, which does everything that we want, or Sarcophagus. I guess we'll go for the Sarcophagus here. This one is replaceable, and I would like to start our engines most definitely. And I would like it if we could end up with some kind of way to get a payoff from starting our engines. Because we have ways to start it on turn 1 and 2 fairly quickly. Don't really like the Mustang, but since we want a lot of mounts and vehicles, I will take it over the glider here. Okay. Okay, well, don't care about that one. Okay, Curse Cloth Wrapping is pretty nice, but of course I'm not going to take it. It's between the Coordinator and the right end. Now, this pack is pretty stacked. There's a Memory Guardian, a Mascot, Wrappings, and I believe I'm the only one in red-white. So I think I can risk it to not pick the Coordinator and just take the right end, because I think this one will come around. Another Sloth, another right end. We already have quite some 5-drops. I think I'm going to take another right end, simply because it's good removal. Don't really care about these. Artillerist is okay, but I think the Nesting Bot is probably the best one. Now, I would really like some kind of... my goodness. Some kind of reward for us having our engines up. But Coordinator, number 2. Maybe we'll even get 3. And then it's just mostly focusing on getting enter the battlefield triggers from our mounts and vehicles, which we have quite a few of. We have 3 vehicles and we have 2 mounts, so that's looking okay. We're good on removal. Beast Rider is very nice. I'll just take it here. There's nothing we're really missing. We already have one of those. It might actually be good in our deck because it does what we need. We will have max speed pretty quickly and giving something +1/+1 and vigilance. But I'm just going to speculate on that one. Okay, so Synergist is okay, but we don't have many artifacts. We have 5. Maybe this is a deck where the Ace is pretty good, because we have 2 Sloths and a lot of stuff that needs to be crewed and saddled. So I'm going to take the Ace. Could also use the Country Roads. But I guess we'll pick up one of those. Synergist is okay, but we don't have enough artifacts. Okay, so now there's a payoff for us being at max speed, which I'm very glad to pick up. Wouldn't mind, I think, the Disciple to come around, or the Surveyor. Exhaust, don't really care about that. Sure, I'll take this. We might have to at some point. There we go. I told you this one would probably come around, and it did. Mechanic, decent 3-drop with upside. Guess I'll take a quick welder. Don't really care about the other cards. And we might actually play the Matrix, because it replaces itself. And it's just a free crew thing. But I'm not too sure about it, so I'm going to put it aside. Well, wouldn't it be nice to be in the cycling deck? Well, this pack is actually pretty terrible for us. There's nothing that really excites me. So it's a kind of a whiff. We don't have a lot of stuff or any ways to discard, so that one's off the table. Could take the Ace, but I don't really care about it. I could take the Highlands and speculate on the Beast Rider. I think that's the best thing to do. I don't really care about the Celebration, so this pack is just... Don't think we could have opened a worse pack. Push the limit. So if stuff dies, this can be a pretty decent top end. But this one as well, I think it will be still in the pack. Guess I'll take another right end here. Okay, very happy to see that actually. If you can get the Sloth, for instance, to go in flying, it's crazy. Chariot is exactly what we want. One of the best top end cards. Now, if you get more of these, we can still get to push the limit. Skycycle, I think it does more in our deck than the Basri. So I'm just going to take this. And I believe our deck is looking decent. I'll take this as a payoff. Okay, well, another top end. Now, if we still get a, I mean, the card's not amazing, but if we still get one of the lands, oh, this is actually amazing for us. If we get one of the lands that gives a pilot token, I wouldn't pass on it. Okay, well, I will take the Disciple, and I think I'll replace it for the Quick Welder. Yeah, I don't think we will get anything useful anymore. Don't really care about the trick. Someone took the push the limit, but also, you know, it's not great in our deck because we have no, well, only the Chariot, but other than that we picked up no cycling artifacts. But it's a real deck. So we can cycle this away if we're stuck on mana. So I think we can play one land less. Because it is Magic the Gathering Arena. Okay. So now let's see how this goes. I am really looking forward to the new set. It looks amazing to me. And I'm thinking of maybe doing a limited guide on it. A draft guide, you know, card evaluation. But those things take up a lot of time. Okay, keeping this. Now it would be amazing for us to be able to scry a That's fine. Be able to scry a vehicle of 3 mana or a mount of usable mount to the top. I already have a right hand, I need neither. So this is unfortunate. But we've got enough mana. Why are we getting all the removal? This is, by the way, the reason that I attacked with the Bastronaut before playing the Coordinator. He's ramping nicely and killing our attacks fully. Let's just build this up, see if we can go wide. We've got removal, so as long as we keep adding to the board and he attacks at some point, we can just kill it. But kind of unfortunate that we didn't draw any of the... He's probably got a fight spell, okay. That we didn't draw any of the artifacts that we have. We're just curving out terribly. So we need to be patient, but it's really annoying. I think that is a card that I will use my right hand on. Because it stops our flying attacks if we ever draw them for the Volter. Terrible, terrible draw so far. We had to bottom 2 removal spells. And we drew another removal spell. And I think we have to kill the Refueler if he attacks with it, because we have terrible blocks and I don't want him to draw more cards when he exhausts any of his other stuff. Chariot, whatever. What is this? Well, I hope we have some more luck soon, because now our removal spells are gone and we're just not drawing any action. And he can just exhaust the Boom Scholar at some point. Nine lands. So we drew over half of our lands. In the first 14 cards. This is why I play 16 cards. So I'm just going to take it. I'm not going to block it. So many good draws that we could have had, but no. Well, that helps. That would have helped. We should be pretty much only be drawing action like the coming 6 turns or whatever. But I think we will already be dead by then. And we don't even have a board wipe, so I don't think there's any way out of this. We could be chomping, which we probably will be a lot. But I think we're already dead. I mean, if he swings with everything, we have to do some terrible blocks. And we get 2 damage. I think we have to chomp with the Skycycle. Well, I wouldn't mind him attacking like this, to be honest. Oh, I should have done that differently. Yep, I should have done that differently. Oops. Bit hasty there, but as I said, I think I've pretty much given up all hope here. We could have drawn this all, like, we should have drawn this like 6 turns before this. But we're clearly not. So let's just block like this. We could go down to 1. He will be up to max speed. So it's just a matter of time when he top decks his Lightning Strike or whatever. I guess it's just too late for us to do anything anymore. Yep. Well, that just happened. I'm not even going to respond to that question. Right, well, let's hope for a bit less bad luck, and then I think we still should be fine. Well, this is a decent keep. We did draw a land, so now I'm just going to play the red source for the Road Rage. If I hadn't drawn land, I would have cycled the Chariot. I don't think I'm going to Road Rage that one. Well, we are drawing lands. Double white, I think I'll keep it. Yep. So next turn we have a free swing. Maybe the Javelineer. Don't kill it, please. Maybe he will. Okay. He's not even attacking. That is interesting. So let's just gain some life, deal some damage. Okay. I understand why he does it. I'm not sure why you would do it on a indestructible creature. And now the Skycycle is a pretty decent draw because we can get a pilot and we can put a counter on the Disciple, which makes this a pretty decent attacker. still going to play it because it still makes it a pretty decent attacker. And if he double blocks, we'll just have the Skycycle to attack with. I assume he's going to attack, destroy my Skycycle. I wonder why they worded it like this. Destroy another target artifact, as if it could target itself. Okay. So the Coordinator is dead, which is unfortunate. And I guess also the Skycycle. This is a very strange attack. He must have something. And if he wants to use a trick for the Skycycle, that's fine. He can only do it as a sorcery, so if he doesn't have a trick, this is just... Okay, he has the +1/+1 counter thing. Okay, that's fine. Let's get in for some damage. Reason I'm doing this is I want the Aether Jacket at some point to be gone before I play either the Rambler or the Chariot. And if we top deck a land, both of these are very good targets to play. And we can take 2 damage for a while. I'm just going to keep the Chariot. Okay, well, we still have good attacks. That is not land. So now I guess I'm just going to play the Rambler, because if he wants to spend like 50% or more than 50% of his mana to destroy my Rambler, he will have no blocks. And I think any of these two are pretty much lethal here. So now I really hope that I top deck a land so I can play the Auxiliary, kill one of his flyers before I attack, and then we should be good. Of course, we're not allowed to. We simply are not allowed to. Yeah, well, let's just play this out. And now, if he double blocks the Disciple, his removal spell for the Rambler or Detention Chariot will be gone. And of course he's stuck on lands, so that's really in our advantage. Well, he must really top deck something amazing. But as long as we top deck pretty much anything or a land, we will be good. Well, land-wise, at least we didn't get as screwed as the last game. Well, this is a good game. We just play this, we saddle it. Attack with it. Good game. Yeah, well, he did have a nice deck. It worked out eventually with the 5-4, but as long as you're stuck on 3 lands for so long. I guess we were both somewhat stuck on lands, but of course it's better to be stuck on 2 than 5 than 3. And to be honest, we did actually scry the 5th land in a way. So the coordinator really helped us out. Let's see if this coordinator can get us to a trophy. We are in silver, so it should be doable. But there's always the part in this game where you're kind of dependent on luck, or bad luck for that matter. Okay, Joe the Ambitious. I cannot keep this. I can keep this, and I will. And I think I have to ditch the Rambler, because I want to keep all my lands. Hello, Joe. 2-drop would be nice, or him having a slow hand would also be nice enough. Okay. So we are getting our speed up, but no turn 2 play. Oh, wow. What was that? Okay, well, I've never had someone forfeit that quickly, so that was new. That was the fastest game ever, I think. So thank you for the win, Joe, and I'm sorry that you were scared maybe, or just had a terrible hand that you shouldn't have kept. Or maybe he just didn't top deck a land which he crucially needed. But you should never ever keep a 1-lander. Just don't. The odds of you being hey, I know this character. He looks like the one from Baldur's Gate. Yeah, with 1 land you're just dependent so much, and you want to at least curve out until turn 4. And if you have 1 land, the odds of you curving out are like near 0, I guess. I'm playing the coordinator, and the reason is twofold. I want to scry, and that one can go. I want to keep the land. I would have played the surveyor otherwise, but I cannot play the coordinator and the road rage next turn. Okay, seems like our opponent is kind of stuck on lands here. He might have a counterspell, but that's fine. Because eventually the surveyor will become useful. Let's just build out our board. Seems like he's just stuck on 2 lands. Keeping a 2-lander, very risky. And if we can kill what he plays now, we still have quite some damage on the board. And all we need is a land, and we're good. With another land we have 1 more removal spell, the right end, or the Rambler. Okay. Well, we cannot kill that, but we can still attack into it. I don't want him to use the exhaust ability, so I'm just going to do this. Play the coordinator and hopefully scry a mountain to the top. Yeah, we'll put that to use later on. Now at least next turn I can play the Rambler with the coordinator, which is a good combination. Wow. Not sure why he would target that one. Maybe he has decent blockers coming up. So now I could get a token, but I think I prefer dealing 3 damage to him. Because we have a removal spell, and that means next turn we have lethal. So if he only plays one thing, we win. Yep. Good game. And let's just clean this up. Exactly 0. Yep. Guess we're back in gold. Yep. Game number 5. So far, red-white is actually providing. And the game that we lost, we were just flooded so much. Yeah, I'll keep this. That was a fast mulligan from the opponent. Very fast. Playing the Vaulter, because if he doesn't have a play, we can at least deal 3 damage. He does have a play. I'm not going to offer the trade, of course. Next turn, Skycycle. Just build out the board. Maybe he didn't draw any lands. Yep, he didn't. So we're just going to attack with the cycle. He might have a right end. Or cycle something. Okay, well, it won't kill my Skycycle, so I'm fine with this. He should have done this in his main turn last game. I mean, if he drew a land now, I'm pretty sure that he would have preferred the land anyway. Okay, so if he doesn't do anything now, I will exile the Sky Ray, because then we can get in for some serious damage. Do I have the land? Am I right? No, I don't. Okay. Yeah, I know you're feeling, homie. You can keep spamming nice, but I know how it feels. He must have been very frustrated spamming nice like that. Pretty sure it was sarcastic, unless he really had fun. Okay. Game number 6. 1 loss, 4 wins. Let's keep this going. So far, the games have been, well, not very close. Either we were mana screwed big time and we lost with a lot of frustration, or the opponent had mana troubles and we won with ease. So let's hope that at some point we will get into a game where it's actually going to be close, or semi-close. Man, I've got such cold hands. Okay, let's do this. Let's see how it goes. Okay. We are on the draw. 2-lander is risky, but I'm going to keep it. Just need some lands and we should be good. We've got 2 more draw steps to find lands. Now we've only got 1 more draw step to find the land. Okay, well that's fine. If you want to right end that, that's okay. It did its thing, it started our engines and it ate a removal spell. Okay, very glad to see the thing there. I'm just going to add this to the board, or at least try to. He might have another removal spell, but at least now we have a 2/2 flyer. And as long as he keeps... Okay, well, we don't gain any life, but that's about it. And of course we don't deal damage. Okay, I'm very happy to see that. Let's get our engines up. Hope he doesn't counter this, but I would still prefer him to counter this than any of the other 5 drops. And now all we need is 1 land and I think we should be good. Okay. Bouncing the Pride of the Road makes sense. I'm in no rush, so I'm just going to increase the engine speed. Play a big old sloth. And if he attacks, I'm not going to block because he wants to get rid of this during his turn, preferably. Well, that also works. Yep. Yeah, I'm just going to keep my removal spell. I think this is fine. Next turn we can just attack with the Rambler. Or get our speed up and then attack later on with a double strike something. So as long as he keeps using removal spells on these, it's fine. Okay, so he has his own Rambler. And we can still get our engine up, so I think that's still good enough. Let's do that first. I'm going to right end something this turn, because I can play this before combat next turn, which will still have effect. And let's just try this. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have anything tapped so that we can double spell. He might have soon. He knows we have this one. So let's just go in big, I guess. And I don't want to lose anything, so let's just do it like this. And of course we're going to give the Rambler double strike, but he probably has something. Yep. Well, Rambler is still a good attack. Well, actually they're both still very good attacks. Do I care about the Thopter? I do think. If this dies, he might have some kind of pump spell. I'm just going to attack with these two. I think that's fine. Yep. Well, you know, that was to be expected. He loses a creature, his board is empty. Next turn we can play the mechanic. And it's still looking good. Okay, well, it's no longer looking good. The board has been wiped. All we have now is a mechanic, and he has a Thopter. The only upside is that he is at 10, but that was a good board wipe. Sure, that just happened. We have to use it for the sky ship, unfortunately. Okay, and now if he attacks with a Rambler... Oh, I could have just done it, by the way. Would like some nice 2-drops, or is it top ends? For instance, the 6/6 hasty something would be nice, or the 4/4 actually. But top decking anything but land is good at this point. He has 3 cards still. He might have the reanimate all. Okay, well that also works. Yep, need something good here. Okay, get rid of those 2. Those were some good scries, but let's hope that we got to something useful. Even the land to loot would be useful now. But board wipe is always good, especially this one. I mean, board wipe plus saving something of your own, it's pretty good. It feels like we have used most of our removal spells, but I guess he also has. Not sure what he's thinking about. Maybe he has the reanimate thing. Maybe he disconnected or something. Use the timeout. I can't really imagine that he's still thinking. So maybe something went wrong on his side. If it did, then we still don't have any great attacks. But at some point, if the opponent uses all of his timeouts and he doesn't do anything, like it is now, if this timeout runs out, he just passes his turn. Okay, well, it seems like it's our turn. Excuse me. Now, oh wow. Seems like he just forfeits when all of his turns are used up. All of his timeouts. So we are now 5-1, I guess. Which is good enough, I think. Yep. Let's keep going. In these first few days, of these limited events when the rank has just reset. It's all over the place. I cannot keep this, unfortunately. I can and will keep this. Let's go Coordinator into Disciple, same as last time, and let's just hopefully surveil one of these Skycycles to the top, perhaps, or any other artifact creature thing. I'll take another Coordinator. If I can get a free attack, I will play the other Coordinator. Well, I can get a free attack, but it doesn't do anything. So we just go wide, we find ourselves a mount, hopefully. Get rid of all these lands. I want to start making tokens. That will not help. Well, I guess we'll just try this. It doesn't really affect... Okay, well, it's fine. Not sure why I would counter that. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It only gains me 3 life. Yep, that's a good card. So much crying, and we didn't even manage to find one of our artifacts or mounts or creatures or vehicles, I mean. Don't really care about the 1 damage. Don't really care about that either. Sure. Well, we're just passing until we find something useful. So far it's been only lands and no mounts. I think we have to use the right end for the Hull Drifter. Come on, deck. Well, we have 18 more turns, so you'd think we should be fine. But he probably has a big Gear Serpent as well at some point. But if he attacks with the Hull Drifter, I will just right end that. Or we will right end whatever he finds now. Possession Engine maybe. Spike Shell Harrier. Alright. Well, bouncing is not really that impressive on this board. Drawing all the stuff, but not the vehicles and mounts. So many good top decks to get, so we're just pretty much leaning back until we find it. But he's just probably just going to bounce some of this. We might have to do some unfortunate trade-offs. So that's okay. Why would you do that one? I don't understand I really don't understand. I mean, this one gives me a creature. If I find a mount, this one can still mount something. My goodness. Should have played the Vaulter, but I'm just... This is just so boring, my goodness. Top decking, no permanence at all. Seems like he has some other interaction. Spell Pierce, perhaps. Taking 3. At some point we will top deck a mount or creature and we can actually get some value from this coordinator. But at this point it's just pure sadness. Even more sadness. Guess I have to block the Transit Mage at some point. Maybe with Vaulter. Because we're not attacking anytime soon. Okay. I'm taking it one more turn. I believe that we will draw something useful. You should have played that before. Well, it is something. It feels terrible, but I don't want him to get any speed up thing right now. And we can pump this quite a bit, so if this trades for anything he has, I'm fine. In attacks, of course, I mean. Yeah. That is an easier way to get your speed up. Now please let me top deck something more than 2 mana. It's exactly 2 mana. Oh, he has the exhaust on that thing. Okay, well, I'm actually pretty happy that he didn't block with the engineer. Any mount. My goodness. I'm playing 16 lands. Let's continue. Nothing's wrong. This is what happens in MTG Arena. All your good stuff is at the bottom and all your lands are at the top. And I fear at this point it's already too late. Because we don't have a lot of defensive flying stuff. Yeah, man, you do your thing. You play your game. It's all good. Good evening, Shiva. Welcome. Oh, wow, it's something. If it actually resolves. I am pretty good. Thank you for asking. But these games have been a total drag. We have, let's just say we've been a bit unlucky with what we draw. And we've scryed a lot, and well, we've just only taken removal spells, and we've only bottom decked lands. And we're on a 2-turn clock here, because the Vaulter can only make this a flyer during our turn. So we need a very good top deck here. And since we pretty much used most of our removal, I don't think we will get there. Nope. Nope, just nothing. We have a very nice deck. I have some Skycycles and whatever. And so far I think we're going 5-2 or maybe 6-2. But yeah, I will show you after this. We're 5-2. Let's just go for one more. I think I will most definitely, of course, try to win this. But the deck is just, it's a bit unfortunate. I have both vehicles and enablers, but somehow I'm only drawing enablers the last game, or I'm only drawing vehicles. Well, it's a vehicle, so this actually looks pretty good. Turn 2, 1 play, 2 play, Disciple. We should be able to get our engines up pretty quickly, especially if the opponent has a slow hand. So let's just hope that he doesn't play anything until turn 3, maybe. That is good already. Captain is also very good. I will play it. I need one more land. Don't need the right end yet. And now we can still get in for a free attack. Yep. Another Disciple. So I'm actually playing that. Deal 4. Top decking a land would be amazing now, because then we can play the Skycycle and make a token. And how about yourself? How have you been? What is your opinion on the edged border stuff that these cards have now? I think it's absolutely terrible. Okay, well, cycling is fine. I don't really care about that. Either he chumps or he goes down to, what is it, 10? Ah, I see. I didn't actually read up on it. I just saw it and I thought, oh my goodness, it feels as if maybe they're just going to make this a permanent thing unless you know, buy Game Pass or whatever. But now I understand. Okay, well, this is looking pretty decent. Still, it's a land, which is good. I think the most obvious play is just buff the flyers. Do this. Yeah, they do look like they're left out in rain. They also look like the, you know, if you play with cards with no sleeves a lot. But this is looking good. Cannot complain. We can play what is it? Sky Captain? So that is a good card against us. Guess we just have to find ourselves a few lands for the Chariot against that. But we can still get in for 6, which might be enough here. So we can pump once. Let me think. Do we have lethal? He blocks that one. He gets 6. Yeah, I think we have lethal. We can even pump once. So I think we're good. He blocks one. He blocks that one. This one has menace, so... Yep. Good game. Alright, 6 and 2. Last game for the trophy. Ranking up steadily. Let's see if we can take this home. Take this trophy. I'm not sure if this deck deserves it, but it was clearly open, which makes sense because it's clearly the worst color. But queues have been rather long lately. Normally it's like 10 seconds max. Okay, Steve 8 Ice 8. Opponent goes first. I guess we can keep this. Yep. Guess we're going Surveyor first, depending on his play. Now we I think Surveyor is still the best. If he wants to counter this, that's fine, because then we still might get something out of it later on. And now we can just double spell if he plays a 2 toughness creature. Wow. Not sure if I would have done that, but that's fine. Skycycle would be good next turn. We're still putting a counter on this. I mean, you never know. Oh wait, I should have... No, I should have put 2. 2 plus 1 on 1 or 2 other... Okay. So I could have done that differently. I couldn't have put it on the Skycycle anyway, but maybe I could have put both on the Vaulter. 2 on 1 or 2 other target fields, yeah. Yeah, I should have done that. But hey, it's fine. We have a lot of removal, we have a lot of threats. So we can't really write, and we can play another one of these, buff them both. I think that's the best play. These both accrue 1, so if I play the Rambler, I can actually... I'm not going to attack with the Vaulter, of course. My Skycycle now has flying, which, to no surprise, is better than just flying. And we could still play right and main phase kind of thing if we draw another land. He might have a board wipe. Either he's thinking. Okay, the Disciple is nice, he will gain some life. But then we can most definitely do some more stuff next turn and exile that. And if we play a small creature, we can attack with quite a few. So he's up to 18, we're down to 15. So we're just going to exile that. We have some decent attacks. Now we have very good attacks actually. We only have one white, which is annoying. I think we can take one more damage. I don't want him to exhaust this. So I think it's best to just do this. And kill that one. And since he's tapped out, we can just attack for 5. And next turn we can do Coordinator or Rambler and just attack for more. Okay. Okay, seems like it's going to be a race. That's what I needed. So I guess I'm just going to go Coordinator first because I want to get a trigger from the Rambler next turn. And now we can just... Oh, some life gain would be nice. I guess we just swing for 5, because if he taps out or attacks with everything next turn, we will of course endure some damage, but I think it's about the last damage that he will deal. Yep. And if he wants to trade his flyer for my flyer, that's fine. And let's just exile the... He could play something huge. Yep. Let's just get rid of that. Now I know he has no counter spell, so that's why I chose to do it now. And he can attack for 4, but then we just swing back with lethal. And we'll make a good old pilot. I've not actually played it yet in this matchup, but I've played some drafts where I had this one plus the... What is it called? The Sloth. I have 2 of them, or 1 of them. But the combination with the Sloth is just amazing, because then you get to untap it and then you can get another token. And I guess we're just taking it easy here. Trying to play the Rambler, attack with the Skycycle. Okay, well he's going to gain some life. We're going to gain life next turn, so this is fine. I'm just going to offer the trade. I don't think I really need the flying. And by doing this, I keep more blockers behind and we can play the Skycycle defensively. Now we've got some pretty decent defenders, so I don't think he will attack. And if he does, I will just crew both and block to my best ability. Next turn we can swing in with some life gain and indestructible. So it is looking okay. Yep, kind of expected this. And I'm pretty sure that he will still attack with the Buccaneer. Especially if he has trick. He doesn't have anything against the Skycycle, in blocker wise. Well, that's our flying blocker dead. We can still jump with the Disciple. So he can only attack with his Disciple and Thopter if he wants. That's actually pretty decent. Let me think. If I attack with a Volter, he will just attack. So I think it's best to play this on the Rambler. Give the Rambler some good old flying. And then we at least gain 5 life. And either he takes 1 or he takes 5. And we have this one for the defense if we need. Or for the main phase if we want next turn. Okay, so now we're back at 11. Opponent's at 7. Our board is looking decent. Seems like he did draw something. I'm not going to use the right end if I don't have to. We can just keep attacking with the Rambler with flying, which I think is good enough. Don't really care about this, I can jump it later. Yep. Wow. Kind of surprised there actually. Okay, so I can kill this one. That would make this one a 4-2. Mine would still die. So I guess we just right end that one. I don't really care about the, what is it, Mendicant Core anymore. He could be top decking some artifacts and then it would be good. But we have 2 flying threats which are lethal, well, actually 3. So, yep. It is a good card, but let's just see what he has. Not taking any risks. He might have a right end, but if he taps out now, yeah, I think we win. Yep, good game. Alright, well, it is actually a trophy with a red-white deck. Now, I am pleasantly surprised. It does work, but red-white needs to be extremely open, which it was during the draft. So this was our deck. We had 3 Coordinators and 2 Skycycles. Curve looked pretty decent, and 5 rights end, which 3 of them, which did a lot of work. And since we only had 2 6-dropses, one of which we could cycle away, I did 16 lands, which turned out fine. Now, thank you for watching. If you liked what I did, feel free to let me know, either by clicking the comments, or likes, or whatever. And I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Grab the card, shuffle dreams in the palms. Dad's drafts roll heavy, we bombing like psalms. Stacks on the table, strategies to flex. Running these lines like counterspell checks. Dad drafts in the zone, pulling rares from the throne. Mana on the stack, magic seeds we've sown. From poppers to planeswalkers, the board gets owned. Welcome to Dad's Drafts, your new homegrown. Welcome to Dad's Drafts, your new homegrown.